What is up guys, this is Tom, welcome back to another video. In today's video what we're going to be looking at is the Sigma 30mm f1.4 lens. I'm using it for the Sony a7 III and the Sony a6500. It's a fantastic E-Mount lens that is unbelievable value for money. So I thought I would jump straight in, show you guys what this lens is capable of. Let's jump into an intro with footage shot exclusively on the a6500 and the Sigma 30mm. So, as you can see, I've pretty much exclusively been using this lens for video. As I have mainly been using this lens for video and not photography, what I'm going to do is link a couple of videos down in the description from a few of my favourite reviews from other YouTubers where they highlight the sort of portrait capability of this lens, but this is pretty much going to be a video review. We're going to be talking about how I've been using this lens most effectively during video creation. So the 30mm focal length means that the lens is extremely versatile. It is a crop lens, which means that on the a6500 etc you're going to be getting a 45mm equivalent focal length. That means that it's a pretty natural focal length that we tend to see from, meaning that you're going to be getting a really nice pleasing aesthetic picture with good depth between your background and your foreground. It is just one of my favorite focal lengths for general street shooting. It's not quite a zoom lens, it's not quite a wide lens, however it's a really nice sweet spot, things where you just need to be sort of run and gun, and because I do a lot of that type of filming, this makes it the absolute perfect focal length. So we're going to talk about that f1.4 number. The quality of the bokeh on this lens is extremely nice. If you're shooting something shallow, something with foreground, maybe close to the camera and something in the background, you're getting an extremely nice depth of field. There'll be a really good separation between your foreground and your background. Even at really low f-stops, it's still going to be extremely sharp, which is one of the biggest advantages with other lenses. If you knock that f-stop right down, you might be getting a bit of distortion and a bit of loss of clarity on those close-up subjects. But with this lens, I really haven't experienced anything like that. Talking about the sharpness as well, it is an extremely sharp lens. It's up there with some more expensive glass like the Zeiss certified lenses that Sony have for their cameras. This is probably just as sharp, if not sharper. I really haven't experienced any situations when you're getting a sort of a loss of clarity, mushy images, and because of that 1.4 number, it even looks incredible in low light situations. As you can see here from some of the footage that I'm showing you, the noise is extremely low when you're pairing it with a camera like the a6500. If you just knock that f-stop down and bump your ISO up, you're really getting a ton of available light, even in particularly low light situations like we were here at the top of a viewing tower right at sunset. There was not a lot of light available in that situation. However, this pairing with this lens and the low light capabilities of the a6500, that transforms that into a very capable situation. So now we get on to my real reasons why you'd want to pick up this lens. So first and foremost, I shoot a ton of video, and I tend to, when I'm shooting, I'm using a gimbal, like you can see behind me, and this lens is small. This lens is small, it's really unassuming, it really doesn't add a lot of weight to a setup like the a6500. That makes it absolutely perfect for gimbal use. It's not protruding far from the edge of the camera, makes it tough to balance, etc. I simply pair this with a Manfrotto quick release plate, and it means that I can just whack the camera on, I don't have to rebalance, etc. It means that the balance on the gimbal is better, and the battery life is going to last for far longer than it would be for a variable focal length lens. And the biggest reason you might want to pick this lens up for your Sony E-Mount camera is basically the price. It is just an absolute steal. This comes in at about £250 in the UK, about $330 in the US. That is an insane bargain for a lens of this quality. Some of these Sony comparative lenses are far more expensive and deliver results that are either the same. However, the Sigma's probably going to outperform some of those lenses. Sure, you're sacrificing things like maybe the build quality. I have a 50mm f1.8 Zeiss lens, and obviously that's a sort of metal construction, does feel a bit better in the hand. However, for the price of the Sigma, it really doesn't matter too much about the build. If you were to break this after sort of maybe a year or two of shooting with it, that's not going to be the worst thing in the world because it's a cheaper lens to replace. Just make sure you don't drop it. That's about it for this video, guys. I didn't really want to delve into the super specifics of this lens. I wanted to let the visuals talk for themselves. That's definitely what I want this channel to be. All of the overlay B-roll that I've shown in this video has been showcasing the Sigma 30mm f1.4. That's exclusively what I use for those B-roll shots. Hopefully that's done a good job to demonstrate what this lens is capable of. And hey, let me know if you like this type of content. It was really, really great to see so many positive comments on my last video about seeing just new videos on this channel, and I will catch you in the next one.